Hi, everyone. Hi, Hi, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? It is Aishii Ai, a girl from the year 4000 who is here to entertain and make memories with all of you. Life can get crazy, so let loose with me and we'll all get through this together. Let's go! Hi, everyone. Hi, Iron Sai. Thank you so much for those 3 months with that tier 1 sub on Twitch. I really appreciate it. Hi, Arco Barco. Hi, JP. Hi, Willful. Hi, Chrono Time. Hi, Honeybee. Hi, Zhao. Hi, Absolute Link. Hi, Amathrius. Hi, JP. Hi, Chicken Adobo. Hi, Lone Wind. Hi, Absolute Link. Hi, Advent. Hi, Conway. Hi, Leviathan. Hi, Nicola. Hi, everyone. Hi, Grand Blue. Hi, Justin. Hi, Sabishi. Hi, Azrael. Hi, how's it going, everybody? Hi, Rapult. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Louie. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope that you guys are doing fantastically today. Welcome on in, welcome on in. Welcome to the stream. Today's gonna be a dang good one. We got a lot of thinking to do. We got a lot of pondering to have, and I have these nice little specs. I have these nice little specs on my face to go along with that. Do you like my glasses? Aren't they cute? Aren't they cute? I think it makes me look smarter, to be honest. Makes me look smarter. I feel a little smarter when I wear them too. It's very nice, very nice. Yes, yes, yes. I'm fine, Aishii. Yay, I'm glad to hear it. Oh, you're making some mint tea. Oh, I just have a I have some like lavender tea next to me. This is perfect, perfect. Yeah, I look smarter. Yeah, I look smarter with it. Right. Hair up and glasses is a nice combo. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad that you like it. Also, hi, Ike and welcome in. They're super cute, right? The glasses are so cute. I love it. I love it. It'd be a most thought-provoking and neuron-straining day indeed. I know. We're all gonna get out of here and we're all gonna have headaches. I hope not. That would actually not be fun, but maybe just a small headache, like as a treat, right? Just a small headache as a treat. Ooh, you're gonna make some hibiscus tea? That would be so nice. Hibiscus tea is really nice. You look like a professor? Well, good. I think I'm pretty much going to assume the role of that today. Yes. Well, here, I'll go ahead and talk about what we're going to do today, actually. So if you guys are popping in, you guys watching, we are going to be we're gonna be doing some thought experiments. Now you guys might be wondering, Aishii Ai, what is a thought experiment? What does that even mean? And let me tell you, I didn't even know there was a word for this until you guys told me, actually. Thought experiment. I'm gonna look up the exact definition. So a thought experiment is a device in which one performs an intentional, structured process of intellectual deliberation in order to speculate within a hypothesis, theory, or principle. for the purpose of thinking through its consequences. So it's a okay, well, device is a little weird here. Let me rephrase this. A thought experiment is a hypothetical situation in which a hypothesis, theory, or principle is laid out for the purpose of thinking through its consequences. So basically, you're given a scenario and like, or a certain like way of thinking, and you just ponder it. You ponder it. We're just pondering it. We're talking about some interesting things. And in fact, we are talking about 3 things in particular today. 3 things in particular. I know what some of those words mean. See, exactly. You got it. Hi, Grand Blue, welcome in. This is gonna be on the test, don't worry, no tests. I'm anti-test. Fuck that shit. You're just gonna store all the information in your short-term memory, not in your long-term memory if I test you, okay? None of that. But yeah, so there's gonna be 3 things that we're gonna be focusing on today, and we're gonna be chatting about today, and I'm sharing with you guys, which is the Mandela effect, which I'm sure you guys are familiar, and if not, then we'll talk about it a little bit. And then we're going to be talking about Schrodinger's, hold on, how do I say this? Schrodinger's cat pronunciation. I don't know how to say it actually. Let's see, how to say.
How do you go about pronouncing it?
Yes.
No, it is not Schrodinger, but rather Schrodinger's cat.
Oh, Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat. Okay, so Schrodinger's cat, and then also we're going to be talking about quantum immortality / quantum suicide is the 2 names there is for it. So basically, we're talking about quantum stuff, and we're also talking about Mandela effect, which essentially can, depending on your feeling or your theory, can also go in hand with quantum. So yes, we're putting together quantum power theories in our little brains, and I'm proud of us for it. Hi, I Undead. Hi, I Ninja Mike. Welcome in. Last one's gonna get you demonetized. Yeah, I know. I don't want to say it like that. I want to say just like quantum immortality, because it is gonna get me demonetized. Schrodinger's cat drives me nuts because a cat isn't in both states. We just don't know which it is. Yeah, but that's what quantum is. Have you guys ever played Outer Wilds? They play with quantum in there a little bit, and that was my first real experience with anything under the quantum idea. And so it was really fascinating. I won't tell you guys how that comes into play in Outer Wilds, but that is a very, very small element in it, and it's very cool. But yeah. It's okay. Just don't worry. When it comes to like Outer Wilds, really the only spoiler is experiencing it. So just don't watch anyone play it unless you played it. And if that's the case, go buy the game now and put it on your to playlist this week. Yes. Haven't played it, but I've watched a lot of playthroughs of it. Okay, well then you already kind of get it. You already kind of get how the game works and where quantum comes into play. But anyway, yeah, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. So yes, we're going to be talking about all that stuff. One of the things today, I'll just tell you guys, quantum immortality was one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. I think that it is absolutely fascinating, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. But yeah. Hi, I'm Matt. Welcome in. Yes, I have my hair tied up today. All right, so let's go ahead and let's scooch on over here, shall we? That way we can get to pondering. Oh yeah, that was me looking up how to pronounce it, because I wasn't quite sure. All right, anyway, let's see. Wow. There we go. So we have a lot to discuss today. I have a lot of different ideas of how I want to kind of go about it, as well as talking about like kind of breaking down some things. Yes, this is a Wikipedia article. Don't worry, you guys don't have to do any reading. I'm doing all the work today. Yes. But anyway, we're gonna start talking about the Mandela effect a little bit. Now, I think the best way to start with this is to, I guess, to ask you guys, how many of you guys don't know what the Mandela effect is? Can you put a 1 in the chat if you guys don't know what the Mandela effect is? I want to know how many of you guys don't know what that is. I'm going to pour myself some tea too. My lavender tea. I think it's lavender. What is it? Lavender and something else. I made quite a bit. There we go. Let's see. All right, so it looks like just a few of you. Looks like just a few of you don't know about it. So we'll kind of talk about it a little bit. In fact, I'm gonna bring up definition. So to kind of talk a little bit about what the Mandela effect is and some examples as well. So we'll kind of just do a little bit of reading. So here, actually, let me crop the right side because the right side is not giving us any additional information. We'll uncrop it if we need to, but a lot of the things that we're going to be reading don't have any important information on the right side. Quite interesting how that is. But anyway, yeah, quantum mechanics are very confusing. Okay, so the Mandela effect is an observed phenomenon in which a large segment of the population misremembers a significant event or shares a memory of an event that did not actually occur. Now, there's a few examples of it. Like if I were to show you, for example, here, let's go into here. There we go. So would you say that you guys, how do you guys remember Berenstain Bears? How do you remember it being spelled? Do you remember it being spelled the Berenstain Bears? Like the Berenstain, like stain, like S-T-A-I-N or S-T-E-I-N? The E, right? Berenstain Bears, right? The E, right? Right? Okay, but what if we were to tell you that that's not right? That it was never that? It'd fuck you up, right? It'd fuck you up. So like, here, let me actually grab Mandela effect. Here we go. So for the Berenstain Bears, their last name is spelled with an A. It was never an E. It was never an E. Now, how does that make you feel? Makes you feel wronged. Right? That'd make you feel wronged, right? Well, that's there you go. That's how you have it, right? It always had the A. It never had the E. But we are all misremembering it. Or is there something else at play? Is there something else at play? Huh? There's a lot of examples of this, but let's read this article a little bit more. So, Fiona Broom, a paranormal researcher, coined the term to describe collective false memory when she discovered that a significant number of people at a conference she was attending in 2010 shared her memory that Nelson Mandela had died in prison during the 1980s. In fact, the former president of South Africa was released from prison in 1990 and was very much alive at the time of the conference. So, it's wild, right? Thus coined the term Mandela effect. But yeah, there's a lot of things like this, and I'm excited to go over like the more common ones with you guys, because it fucks me up so bad. I would say most of them. I also remember, I guess, the quote unquote incorrect version. However, there are some in which I do feel like I have a logical explanation for, but everything else, it puzzles me quite a bit. It puzzles me quite a bit. See, even reading Berenstain Bears, like Berenstain Bears, with the A, it feels wrong. It feels wrong. Aishii Ai, time traveler accused of changing things to make a stream about it. Oh my gosh. I wish I was that smart. I don't know. I guess I haven't aged at all, so maybe it would have been possible. Also, hi everyone coming in. Hi, I do. Very welcome in. But yes, so that's kind of how it is. So here it actually talks about quantum theory, which is kind of today's theme. Today's theme is kind of about quantum stuff. So according to quantum theory enthusiasts, the Mandela effect presents evidence that the multiverse does exist. This belief is based on the idea that within each universe, parallel realities and alternate versions of events and objects are present and mixing with the timeline. So like basically with that explanation there about there being more than one timeline, maybe there was a timeline. Maybe all of us collectively were part of another timeline where Berenstain Bears were actually, it was actually an E, because we all quite remember it with an E, right? But it's not an E anymore. It's much like, you can also kind of compare it a little bit to the butterfly effect, where even the smallest little decision can cause a chain of reactions that changes the entire future forever. Forever. So like, for example, if you decide to go to the store and you're trying to decide between two things of bread, right? Say you're trying to decide between potato bread or whole wheat bread. You decide to go with the potato bread, okay? Well, by choosing to take the potato bread, whoever comes into the store later that day who wants some potato bread is not going to notice that there's one less. In fact, maybe there's none now. Maybe you took the last thing of potato bread. That person can now not have potato bread. So they're going to have to choose another kind of bread, right? And who knows how that impacted their day, right? Right? So like you can kind of look at it like little things like that. Maybe the bread that you got had traces of something that was gonna make you sick, right? But maybe the other person who could have picked up that bread was deadly allergic to that thing that could have made them sick. But to you, it gave you no reaction at all. So essentially, you saved someone else from dying without even knowing it. That kind of stuff. But if we're talking about like, not butterfly effect, but if we're now talking about like multiple realities, then we can just, we can talk about how even the smallest little thing can cause drastic changes. And now we're all in another reality where by one thing or another, by one way or another, Berenstain Bears is now, there's now an A. There's now an A. And the person whose life you inadvertently saved, Nelson Mandela. Exactly, exactly. But yeah, bringing quantum theory and mixing it with temporal mechanics makes my head hurt. It's interesting, right? It's interesting. Now, this is only the very tip of the iceberg. This is only the very tip of the iceberg. So just be prepared, okay? Be prepared. But yeah, so there's another thing. Oh man, deja vu. We got to talk about deja vu at some point, but it does reference it here. So let's see. So yeah, this belief is based on the idea that within each universe, parallel realities and alternate versions of events and objects are present and mixing with the timeline. In psychology, however, the effect is sometimes compared to deja vu and can be explained by the human capacity for confabulation, an unintentional distortion of memory. Confabulated memories, which are often associated with the brain's frontal lobes, may seem every bit as clear and detailed as events that have actually happened and are not intentionally created to deceive. But you know, you can sit there and go, oh yeah, sure. Science, right? Okay, but like, why would we all remember the exact same thing? Why would our brains all do the exact same thing? I guess you could also blame it on science and like the limitations of the human brain, right? Brains are very fascinating. Do you ever look, sometimes this is so random, but sometimes I just look at my cat and I like make a fist and I look at it and I look at her head. I'm like, my fist is bigger than her head. That means her brain is smaller than my fist. My cat has such a small, tiny little brain. The tiniest, teeniest, tiniest little brain. Sometimes I think about that and I'm like, wow, some beings have just such tiny brains. And some beings have big brains. Anyway, that was off topic, but I just think about that. Shared delusion. Delusion. Oh, delusion sounds like a heavy word. Like I feel like people would be more offended by the word delusion, right? That's so true. Some beings have no brain. That shit is fucking, oh my God. Crazy, crazy. You had a glitch in the Matrix, deja vu today. Could have sworn I was watching a particular show while making fresh tortillas again. Dude, I've gotten deja vu so many times in my life. I mean, we all have, right? You know? Man. Anyway. Let's see what else this article has to say. Other people believe that the Mandela effect is linked to conspiracies involving the Large Hadron Collider. What is that? LHC and the rupture of the space-time continuum. Okay. Or to the flat Earth theories. What? How is Mandela effect in flat? Oh, because they're like, oh, like they're causing everyone to freaking they're causing everyone to freaking think the same thing so that we don't know that the Earth's not actually flat. Oh man, they're poisoning our water supply. They're turning the freaking frogs gay. That sort of shit. Oh my god. It's Hadron. I always thought the jerk was hard on though. Oh, is it Hadron? Oh yeah, they definitely said hard on there. That's so funny. Wake up, people! Deja vu is a common occurrence for me, so much that I think I've experienced the same day multiple times. Whoa! But with different outcomes over the span of several years. Small things change each time. Oh man, that's so fascinating to me. That's so fascinating. A large hard-on collider. Oh, that's a really funny typo. Yeah, could deja vu just be an alternate timeline version of yourself merging with this? Yes, right? That's what I think it is. Maybe. I don't know if I fully believe in it. So hold on. Let me preface this whole stream by saying I don't necessarily believe in the things that we're talking about, but I don't necessarily not believe in the things that we're talking about. Which is why, like, you know, that's why we're doing what's it called? Thought experiment, right? We're thinking it, we're considering it, we're talking about it, and it's up to you to decide like what you actually feel or believe in or whatever. But I don't necessarily believe in it, nor do I not believe in it. I think it's very fascinating, very interesting, and yeah. But yeah, I think deja vu, if I were to explain deja vu, I would think that like different realities could be a thing, you know? I don't think I believe in the Matrix though, but that does remind me of another topic I wanted to bring up, but I don't think we'll have time today. I think I need to do a little bit more research on this other thing that I learned recently, because I just learned about it from a YouTube video, and I don't want to just cite the YouTube video and like look up stuff live. I think I'd much rather do a little bit of research on it first, and then we can sit down and talk about it. But anyway, that's beside the point. That also has to do with like the Matrix. Anyway, but yes. All right, so Eyes believes are quantum themselves. How meta. Oh my god, wait. When you put it like that, you're so right. You're so right. Let's see. Let's learn a little bit more about the Mandela effect. So the Mandela effect is relevant to project management and human resources, as well as other areas of business. What? Careful documentation is essential to ensure the details of agreements are clearly specified and not open to interpretation. Oh, okay. In cases where specific details are not adhered to, the documentation can prove as proof to the original agreement. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, smash those particles together. I love it when you tear microholes into the fabric of reality. Large Hadron Collider scientist. Dude, yeah. He's certainly feeling a particular sort of density because of that. I mean, listen, there are gods out there. Do you think they... Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna ask that question. Okay, anyway, they probably don't have body parts. Okay, not the same as ours. That is. Okay, anyway, so I gotta now ask it. I was just gonna say, do you think gods get aroused? Do you think they get really, and then they make really weird decisions? You know, they're just like, oh man, I'd be so fucked up if I did this, bro. Oh, what if I made them do that, bro? Probably. Yeah, probably. If they gave themselves the ability to do that, oh my god. Imagine, yeah, like, of course the question is, right, is like, if you're a god, do you have the power to do anything to yourself if you're a god, right? But are you the god of you, right? How much, like, what kind of power do you have? Anyway, that's a topic for another day. It's a topic for another day. That's so Zeus. That's so Zeus coded. Dude, have you guys seen that TikTok? Oh my god, wait, you guys just brought up Jesus, so it just reminded me of this TikTok that I almost tweeted out earlier. Have you guys seen that TikTok of It's a like a role play scenario where it's the future where it's like a Christian rock church where they're where they're singing, right? But they're bringing in like the freaking like they're bringing in the Gat to the Rizzler meme into like their their teachings. And then, oh wait, hold on. Can I find it? I have to find this. It's so funny. No, it's so funny, guys. And then there was this other bit to it, but if I say it out loud, it ruins all of it. It's so funny. I think I liked it on TikTok or bookmarked it. I know that I was absolutely tickled, and I wanted to share it with someone, but I didn't know who I wanted to share it with, so I just kind of like saved it, you know? Dude. It's a bit. Yeah, it's a bit. It's not real. It's a bit. It was really funny. Sticking out your gap for the sinner. Oh, I found it. I found it. Okay, here we go. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. Let's see. It's by... I'm gonna show you guys. It's so funny. Let's see. No, it's a person. Let's see. Hold on. Constantine. Oh wait, what's their actual TikTok? Oh, okay, okay. I found it. I found it. It's Nick MKE. It's so funny. Here it is. Okay. You guys have to see this TikTok. It's so funny. I know I keep saying that, but like it's actually so funny. Oh wait, did I have it muted? Oh wait, no, here we go. Check it out, okay?
Instead of worshipping Giyats and Skibbity, you need to be worshipping Giyad and the...
Wait, no, my internet cut out for a second. No, I started dropping frames once I showed this. The devil's here. The devil's here. No, devil, please. We're trying to watch this. Let us watch this. Come on. Okay, I think we're stable again. I think we're stable again. Okay, okay. Yes, refresh if you're having trouble. Refresh if you're having trouble. We should be good now. Okay, okay. Are we back? Are we so back? Okay, devil, get out of here. It is the work of the devil. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay.
Instead of worshipping Giyats and Skibbity, you need to be worshipping Giyad and the spirit of He. Because if you think Giyad isn't watching, you are Delulu. Now join me in worship. Imagine if Jesus had a
low faith. Imagine if Jesus had a low taper fade. Dude, like seriously? What the fuck? Yes, the low taper fade. It's so good, right? Oh my god. Can you play that again? I absolutely can play that again, and I'm gonna make it a little quieter though. It's quite loud. It is quite loud. It's I was thinking of this earlier.
Instead of worshiping Giyad,
it's so good.
You need to be worshiping Giyad and the spirit of He. Because if you think Giyad isn't watching, you are Delulu.
You are Delulu.
Imagine if Jesus had a low taper fade. Imagine if Jesus had a low taper fade.
All right, anyway. Yeah, so that's that. That's that. My brow hurts from furrowing it so hard. It's gonna live rent free in my head. No, thanks, Ai. You're welcome. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. Yeah, no, he's a great singer. He's a great singer. It's such a good bit. Such a good bit. But anyway, yeah, so that is that. Also, hi, Ai. Welcome in, everybody. We're having thought experiments today. We're talking about the Mandela effect currently. But yeah, so How did I get on that? Oh, we were talking about gods. And then I was thinking about the low taper fade because I had seen something on Twitter recently. And yeah, anyway, so yeah. Imagine a super chat alert with that. Oh my God, everyone will think I'm like a hella Christian. I think I'm like a hella Christian. All right, anyway, so yes. So anyway, back to this. I don't even remember. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, so there's characteristics of like the Mandela effect and stuff like that. But I feel like you kind of get like the Mandela effect, right? Like, do you kind of get it? Do you kind of get what like the Mandela effect is? And like, and I'll give you guys some more examples actually, maybe to help. So here, let's go past the Berenstein Bears. All right, guys. I tried really hard when I was saving these pictures not to look at them, so that way I didn't have like a biased opinion. But do you remember Cheez-Its or Cheez-It? Honestly, I thought it was always Cheez-Its with the Z. I thought it was always the Z, right? Apparently it's not. It's just Cheez-It. I'm spreading the faith of Giyad. Yeah. Gotta give your Jesus tax, you know? Was it not? Double Z's is hard to pronounce. Cheez-Its. No, it's not. Cheez-Its. What do you mean? It's not hard. It's fun. I refuse to believe in the singular cheese, right? It's not plural? No, it was never plural. I've always said cheese growing up. Me too. Cheez-It, Cheez-It. Okay, a few of you. Zits. Yeah, you gotta eat the zits. Ew. I use Cheez-Its as a plural. I use Cheez-Its like always. Single cheese. All right, what about Curious George? Did you know he had never had a tail? Curious George, the fucking monkey, never had a tail. He never had a tail. Never had a tail. Like, what the fuck? Then what is he? He clearly ain't a monkey! Like, what the fuck? Also, hi, I, real human. Welcome in. Welcome in. Don't let George distract you from the fact that Pekoda has a monkey. Oh my God, she does. I'm scared of monkeys. No, thank you. No, thank you. Also, if you guys are experiencing a little bit of a longer delay, refresh. We had some frame drops earlier, so yeah. It's just a hairy child then. He must be. I actually remember him without the tail. Dude, you're stronger than me then. Oh my God, VeggieTales. Didn't even get me started about VeggieTales. We should have a VeggieTales deep dive at some point. That would be fun. All right. What about Febreze? Double E or single E? I swear to God, it was the double E. Look at the first one. It's perfect. It's perfect. But no. There was no double E. There was no double E. Like, do you see? Are you getting it now? Is your mind being fucked? These are photoshops. The double E is what people photoshopped. They remember it looking like. But that never existed. If you look up old photos, of like cleaner, if you go back, look at old photographs of like your cleaner. Look at old photographs. If you have like a scrapbook, open that shit up. See if you can see like these products. And they just never existed like that. Yeah. I don't get it. Anyway, Flintstones, to be honest, I don't actually remember which it was. I did watch the Flintstones, but I also didn't have like cable and stuff like that. So, I don't really remember, Yeah. Classic photos of your air fresheners we all have. Maybe you have like a picture of like you as a child sitting in like the cleaning closet at your like, I don't know, at your house or something. I don't know. Like if you have any I don't know, right? Have a yabba dabba do time. Yes. Flintstones. Yeah, so it was not Flintstones, it was Flintstones, which I guess makes more sense. That makes more sense. You definitely remember it with the T, the double T, the double T. Flintstone steaks. I just had a Curious George book lying around and I checked it real quick. Did you? Did you? You remember the double T? Remember the double T? Hi, Iruka, welcome in. Oh, your parents enunciated both T's. Oh, cool. There you go, there you go. All right, confirm no tail. Yeah, the no tail. No tail Curious George. All right. Okay, this one makes me angry. I swear to God. This fucking logo had the cornucopia. This what made me believe in Mandela effect immediately. Like believe this is like, I guess like, well, obviously you can believe in it. It's the name for a phenomenon. But like, what the fuck? It has a cornucopia. Where did it go? Yes, it had to have had the cornucopia. Where did it go? No, it's not a logo change. You can find no evidence of it ever having a cornucopia. People have shared so many fucking pictures of their fucking Fruit of the Loom stuff and it never had it. It never had it. The Matrix, I know, alternate timeline, the Mandela effect. Okay, well, what we're talking about today is quantum stuff specifically. Checks underwear, yeah. We're talking about the Mandela effect is a phenomenon where a shared experience of misremembrance or a false memory happens to a large group of people, basically. Everyone misremembering things in the same exact way. It does look better on the left. It looks fucking stupid on the right. It looks perfect on the left. Yeah, but what we're talking about specifically today is the Mandela effect, and then also a few other things about how maybe it could also hint at perhaps the idea of multiple realities or different realities existing at the same time. That perhaps there was in fact a Fruit of the Loom with the cornucopia, like we all so very much remember, right? But that does not exist in our reality anymore because we are no longer a part of the reality in which had it. Perhaps our reality did not exist past that point. The reality in which the cornucopia existed. And so now we're all in a different reality where it does not exist. We're all fucked up about it. I know. I love how well they illustrate like the idea in the head. I guess that's like, what's it called? That's like artists, right? Artists just take an idea that's in their head and they make it come true. But yes, that is exactly how I remember it. The one on the left. Yes. It had to be a bootleg. I swear it was there. I know, right? I swear it was there. I swear it was there. Like, what the heck? I don't remember that many fruits being on there. Because you didn't focus on the fruits, right? You've kind of focused on like the general, like, you focused on the cornucopia and then like the idea of like the fruits being there. I don't remember exactly what fruits are there. All I know is that there were fruits and it was a cornucopia and had Fruit of the Loom underneath it, right? You know? Yeah, we had to lose cornucopia. We had to lose the cornucopia for us to continue existing. Yeah, and so it merged with our now reality. This is definitely the one that got me. Me too. Me too. Technically, by this logic, we live in a reality where some people remember it one way, but most remember it another. Which reality is the original? That's a good question. But I'll be honest, I haven't met many people that remember it on the one on the right. Aside from maybe like people who were born later before Fruit of the Loom was like a thing, right? Because they would have never experienced the prior, you know? You know? Yeah, it's too many instances of Mandela effect at once. Like, this cannot be coincidence. I swear, this cannot be coincidence. Fruit Loops. Now, I remember it being spelled like fruit when I was younger, but being an adult, I do remember the double O's. So now I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I might just be convincing myself that I remember it with being fruit. But I know when it comes to like laws and stuff like that, like yeah, you can't just say Fruit Loops unless there's actual fruit in it, and there's not. Comes down to like legality and stuff like that, and being able to sue them for false false advertisements and stuff like that. Did you know there's a law in Japan? There's a law in Japan where you cannot show realistic looking fruit on the package unless it has a certain percentage of actual like fruit in the product. If it's mostly like if it's mostly artificial, you can't show realistic fruit. You can only show like cartoon depictions of fruit. Isn't that interesting? I like that law. I like that law too. It's a good one. You know, can you imagine being the marketing team for these brands crying in pain that no one remembers your logo correctly? Oh my God, can you imagine? Oh my God, yeah, and everyone thinks you're fucking crazy. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. I wonder what the Fruit of the Loom, wait, question, right? What if the person who created the old Fruit of the Loom logo, what if in the alternate reality he died and he was replaced with a different, obviously like it's a different reality version of him, right? Or her, whoever. And that was the version that created the one that we know now. So that person doesn't exist anymore. The only person that exists is the one who created it. Maybe that's why it changed, because they were wiped from existence somehow and replaced with someone else. Okay, now that's a whole other fucking rabbit hole to go down. Anyway. Yeah, the designer's like, you people are Delulu. I know. It's not Fruit of the Loom. Oh my God, the double O Fruit of the Loom. That's funny. It's Fruit of the Loops. Yeah, Fruit of the Loops. Duh. Anyway. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, so the first one is not a very good is not a very good example, but I swear to God that guy did have a turkey leg in his hand in the right one, but his hand wasn't up. I remember his hand being down and he was holding a turkey leg, but apparently that wasn't true. But I'll be honest, I didn't consume much like traditional, like classical art, so I don't even know. His hand was always, yeah, I always remember his hand down, but I remember I do remember a turkey leg. I don't know why. It's like Into the Spider-Verse, but with the Mandela effect. Oh yeah. He definitely wasn't holding a KFC drumstick between his greasy fingers. Why do you have to say it like that? Where's the cornucopia, 2K and Sam? Oh yeah, Jiffy versus Jif. I swear Jiffy was like another product that existed. That there was Jiffy and then there was Jif. I swear to God, they like both existed. No, not Jiffy Lube. I wouldn't have thought that. A child doesn't think about Jiffy Lube. If he holds his chopstick like that, I want to see how he holds his quill. That's really funny. No. Jiffy. Yeah, Jiffy peanut butter. I thought it was just Jiffy. Jiffy sounds like the Walmart brand. No. They couldn't get that close. They didn't name it like Wonderfully Whipped or something like that, right? Actually, it's Jiffy. I'm gonna fucking strangle you. I thought about Jiffy Lube. Oh no. Oh, I was gonna insult you and call you old, but instead you had an immature and vulgar sense of humor. I see, you were being a teenager. Okay, never mind. If you lose a carved chop franchise, I think that's just crossing Skippy with Jip. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to accept like thinking Jiffy and then Skippy and putting that together. I'm willing to accept that misremembering because of that. That's plausible. That's plausible to me. Kit Kat, I swear to God it had that fucking dash. I swear to God it had that dash. Look how good it looks. Look how good it looks. Look at that. Ah, it looks so good right in the middle there. Not with like the awkward space. No, it doesn't have the dash. It needs one, right? I think it needs one too. There's no dash. There's no dash. You do? People thought Kit Kat had a dash? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought I had a dash. Like, it just looks good. It just looks good. It just feels right. It feels right to have the dash. Well, it didn't look like the mock-up. Probably not, but it looks good. The dash looks better, but it's not real. I know, it's not real. That's sad. I swear there was a dash on the last one I had. Oh, man. That's how you know the brain rot's real for all of us. The dash isn't slanted. Yeah, if it was slanted, that's what I was literally thinking. I was thinking that, like, I felt like it was more, like, to the side. Yeah, because the way it was in the mock-up. I mean, granted, this is just a mock-up, right? Because it apparently doesn't exist. So someone just drew it together, but yeah. This Mandela effect lesson is teaching me much today, I learned. Yeah. It irks me. That's fair. Yeah, because it isn't slanted. All right, what about Looney Tunes? This one also fucked me up. This one also fucked me up. It was Looney Tunes with a U. Like, what the fuck? They put some larger spaces in the ad so the hyphen would physically fit. Right, exactly. So it had to have existed, right? The Kit Kat had to exist. Cat kids? Shut up. You never thought that. Come on. Because of all the music. No, it makes sense why it was Looney Tunes, but I don't like that because I thought it was tunes as in, yeah, cartoons. Looney cartoons. Silly, crazy cartoons. Not tunes. I only remembered that because it bothered me that it wasn't tunes. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Joe. Welcome in, welcome in. Thematically consistent with Merry Melodies. I guess. Oh, it used to be Merry Melodies, so it's tunes. But tunes, cartoons. It was always tunes to me because I obsessively watched cartoons as a kid and I went into animation school as an adult. My professor would disown me if I spelled out Looney Tunes. Really? Also, that's really cool. I didn't know that about you, Zhao. That's really cool that you went to animation school. I considered doing that. Man. Tiny Toons was tunes. Oh, that's actually interesting. That's actually very interesting. Kush, oh my god. All right, here's this one. This one makes me mad too. I swear to God, this motherfucker always had a monocle. But apparently he didn't. He never had a monocle. Never had a monocle. He was just some old guy with a hat. Because Pringles had a monocle. Both of them had a monocle though. I swear both of them had a monocle. Mr. Peanut has a monocle, I think. Does Mr. Peanut have a monocle as well? Mr. Peanut. Yeah, he does have a monocle. Why didn't Monopoly guy have a monocle? I feel like all of them had monocles. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was just because we had Mr. Peanut and the Pringles guy. You know? Make too much sense for Pringle Man and Monopoly Man to have a monocle, I guess. Because he's rich enough to afford LASIK? What the heck? I don't even know if LASIK existed when this guy started. What? What? The Pringles guy had a monocle? He totally did, right? Hold on. Pringles guy. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, Pringles guy doesn't have a monocle. Wait, Pringles guy doesn't have a monocle! Stop. No, he totally did. Pringles guy monocle. What do you mean he never had a monocle? Why do Pringles guy and Monopoly guy not have monocles? Okay, this doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. Nope, nope, nope. This doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. Nope, 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 nope. There's no way only Mr. Peanut had a monocle. There's no way that only Mr. Peanut had a monocle. No, I refuse to believe that. That did not exist. That's not real. That's not real. That's not real. I did not exist in reality where only Mr. Peanut had a monocle. That's not real. Nope. Nope. I refuse. Nope. I don't accept it. I don't accept it. I'm sure. What do you mean? A bunch of other people remember this too. Come on! No. Okay, Oscar Mayer or Oscar Mayer? I swear it was Meyer. It was with the E, not the A. I swear to God. I swear to God. It was with an E. Listen, I was willing to accept that, like I was confusing, like, Pringles guy and also, Mr. Peanut guy. And that's why I thought that the Monopoly guy had a monocle, but I'm not willing to accept that Pringles guy also didn't have a monocle. No, I'm not willing to accept that. Not one bit. Not one bit. Oscar Mayer. Oscar Mayer. It's Mayer, what? I'm the only one who remembers Meyer. Good old baloney. Good old Maloney. Most of these art and designs aren't Mandela affecting me because I've had to stare at these things for hours until I got sick and tired of them. That's true. You did go to art school, or you did take like art classes. Thought it was Meyer for this one. I can't vouch for the Pringles though. God damn it. That's okay. All right. Next, here you go. Pikachu. Come on. I swear, we all remember Pikachu had little black at the end of the tail. But it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, it totally had a black tip. Looks very strange. Yeah, if you compare it to the other one, sure. Like, I remember him having a black end of the tail. No. I'm talking about like beginning, like first Pokemon. I'm talking about first season of the anime of Pokemon. I remember it. I remember it. The female Pikachu didn't come out till way later. You can't compare it to female Pikachu. I'm talking like season 1. Season 1, at most season 2. He totally had it. He totally had it. I swear, I had an eraser with a black tail. See? I watched the first episode, doesn't have a black tip. Yeah, because it doesn't exist in our reality anymore. Because it doesn't exist anymore, but it used to. Sex in the City versus Sex and the City. I thought it was in the city, but I also didn't watch it, so, you know. I also didn't watch it. Hi, Teta, welcome in. I like your little guinea pig icon, by the way. It's very cute. They made Pikachu skinny to stop promoting childhood obesity. Dude, everyone loves fat Pikachu. All my friends love fat Pikachu. I never watched it. Yeah, me neither. Anyway, those are all the ones that I saved. There's a few other ones that I thought were interesting, and we'll go through those quickly, but there's some other topics I wanted to talk about as well that kind of have to do with like this. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. So there's some in here, like quotes and stuff like that. Like, Luke, I'm your father. But he never said that. I remember people quoting that, like, Luke, I am your father, but also knowing people who would say that's not what he said. So I never had that like Mandela effect sort of thing, because I was told constantly it was, yeah, I am your father. No, I am your father. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, mirror, mirror on the wall. That one messed me up a lot. I swear it was mirror, mirror on the wall. But no, it's magic mirror on the wall. Like, what? No, it's not mirror, mirror. It never was. It never was. It's crazy. Your first guinea pig named Piggy. Oh, cute. I had a couple of guinea pigs once. They were sweethearts. So cute. Never seen Sleeping Beauty, but that's freaky. Dude, I used to watch Sleeping Beauty all the time. It was like one of the ones I would watch like on repeat. That and like Mulan, you know? You know? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The think one. Think Mark think, but he only said think Mark. Oh, there's a few other ones like that down over here. Oh yeah, the location of New Zealand. I was not very good at geology, so that one didn't get me too bad. Let's see. Oh yeah, Mickey Mouse's suspenders. That fucked a lot of people up. The original Mickey is just wearing shorts. Oh yeah, the Sally Fields famous speech. Now I never heard this like literally, but I heard it quoted all the time. Of the, you like me, you really like me. But she didn't say that. She said, you love me, or sorry, yeah. What she actually said was, I can't deny the fact that you like me. Right now, you like me. That's what she actually said. But I always heard it quoted the other way. Sleeping Beauty, not Sleeping Beauty, Snow White. Oh, yeah. I knew what you meant, though. Mirror, mirror on the walls, non-canon. It's my canon. It's my head canon. Steamboat Willie's public domain it is! Who's Sally Fields? Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see. There was another one in here, I think. The fucking Fruit of the Loom! Fucking, this is a hilarious fucking tweet from the official Fruit of the Loom. God, that's so good. Oh yeah, this one. From good old classic freaking, Mr. Rogers. A beautiful day in the neighborhood, but it was apparently always a beautiful day in this neighborhood. I don't remember the word this. I remember it being beautiful day in the neighborhood. Okay, but can I be honest with you guys? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and this is you're gonna think that I'm crazy. When I was younger, I would watch Mr. Rogers. But there's one day where I felt like it was different. And I'm not saying that like I just like realized like, oh, like maybe it was filmed a little bit earlier. No, it was just different. It felt like Mr. Rogers changed. It changed. And I wasn't quite sure why. It didn't feel the same. I have a theory. Because it did change. It did change. And when it changed, this is one of the things that changed about it. I'm not living in the same neighborhood that Mr. Rogers told me about. It changed several years growing up. Yeah, we had to jump realities, exactly. We had to jump realities. I did hear that, yeah, that Mr. Rogers says, I'm feeding the fish because a blind girl wrote him in a letter saying she was worried the fish weren't being fed. Yes, I did hear that. That's so sweet. It's so sweet. What changed about it? I couldn't tell. It just felt wrong. It felt wrong. Are you sure from this reality? I don't think any of us are from this reality. But we're here now. We're here now. Okay, I think that's just about it. But yeah, this talks a little bit about false memories and stuff like that. In fact, I have a false memories Wikipedia page up, which is really interesting. But yeah, it's just a phenomenon that a lot of people experience. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. What I think it is mostly, right? What I think it is mostly, it's a I think it's a mixture of things. Like one, it's us thinking of other things and smashing it together with other stuff because, you know, when you're no longer like a small little child, your brain is constantly sorting through memories and sorting through thoughts for years and years and years and has to sort things and kind of condense things down a little bit, right? To make space for other memories and thoughts and stuff like that. So it makes sense that like with some things, we kind of just smush it all together. But the fact that it happens so precisely that other people remember things exactly the same way, I don't know about that. I don't think that's probable. I think that that's more likely that it's like a different sort of reality sort of thing. There was also this one time. There's this one time my friend was telling me about how we did like some certain things at a con. I did not do that, but she swore up and down that we did. But at the same time, like a day that she was talking about how we did those things together, like I had like video proof that we didn't do anything together that day. Maybe one of the jumps happened then. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, there's a Reddit page about Mandela effect. I don't know what they post here. Just I guess, yeah, Fruit of the Loom. Here you go, Fruit of the Loom logo. Someone said that they had a Fruit of the Loom logo, and then they were saying that their grandma had an old shirt. On the tag it has a normal logo, but with a brown pile of leaves behind it that looks somewhat like a cornucopia that's believed to have been there. Oh, like the brown leaves on the side. So they're saying that maybe like that's maybe what we're remembering, right? Right. Also, hi everyone coming in. Welcome in, welcome in. Doppelganger? I don't think it's a doppelganger. I don't think doppelgangers exist. I don't think so. Not gonna lie, that stain has Toast Jesus vibes. What is Toast Jesus? What is that? What is that? Yeah, they're just talking about all sorts of stuff. Wow, it's actually super active. Why are all these people talking about stuff? Some of these posts are only a few hours old. Yeah, go thrifting for old shirts, yeah. Fruit of the Loom should capitalize on this and just add the cornucopia as a part of the marketing stunt. They did tweet about it. They did tweet about it with like the image that other people made. Oh, Toast Jesus. Yeah, the face of Jesus and the burn marks of a toast. Okay, but see, we can actually explain that though. We can explain that because the brain likes to make faces out of like images and stuff like that. So you could be looking at anything. If you feel kind of creeped out and you look out a window and it's really dark and you can't see anything, then like your brain can sometimes turn that into a face because brain loves patterns, pattern recognition. Exactly. So your brain's like, oh, that might be a face. I know what faces look like. They look kind of sort of like this, right? So like that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes, angry cars versus happy cars. Yes, I think that all the time. I think of happy cars and then angry cars. Some cars that look like Enderman's faces. Oh yeah. True, yeah, you can also get toasters that print things on there. That's true, that's true. Let's see. Yeah, there's just all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of stuff in here. But those are mostly the ones that I wanted to touch on. Those are mostly the ones I wanted to touch on. But yeah, what do you guys think about Mandela effect? How do you feel about it? Do you think it what do you think it means? Do you think it's just like our brains being weird? Do you think maybe it could mean different realities? Maybe it could mean that we're all just a little crazy. Maybe we ate too much food and chemicals. And so now our brains are all mush now. But I do think cars have faces. Yes, cars definitely have faces. Come on. I think memory is horrendously unreliable and we're scared to confront that. Ooh. Dude, honestly, the brains when it comes to memory are both fascinatingly reliable and also fascinatingly unreliable. It's very interesting. Like our brains can suppress memories that are very, very important or awful. But at the same time, they can also like make it to where we misremember like really silly, insignificant things, but like hold on to other things. It's very interesting. Microplastic tastes so good though. Microplastic, so good. I think it's cool that people can have shared experiences like that, but I don't think it has any sort of cosmic significance. Ooh, I like the use of the word cosmic. I think it's pretty funny, but I do think it's just a collection of people having poor memory with some fun effects here and there. I think we're just merging common imagery with brand logos and names because we remember things in approximations. Ooh. Some are weird, others are on the same level as people thinking the mourning doves are going extinct. I don't know anything about mourning doves, I apologize. Lead, asbestos, microplastics, let's go! Dude, I used to have like this post office that was nearby me. And they had a sign saying that, hey, the walls in this place are treated for asbestos, don't pick at them. I guess I don't know why they can't tear it down. Maybe it's more dangerous to tear it down. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So needless to say, I did not pick at the walls. What if the past doesn't exist and the future is just your imagination? Like we all just exist in our own like plane of reality? That's interesting. I think that's too sad though. I don't know how I feel about just the idea of like living every day and everyone I ever interact with is just a figment of my imagination. And if that's the case, then why did I get bullied as a child? Why did my brain want to bully me? That's not very nice. I'm taking my brain to court. I think it's a nice excuse to huff copium. Oh my god. Hi, Ai, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. The lead paint chips were sweet. No! Asbestos snowball fights? Oh god. Oh no. Remember that your brain hates you. No, your brain loves you. The brain needs you to survive. As long as you can. As long as you can. Brain do be Delulu though. True, true. Well, that is the Mandela effect. And kind of touching a little bit on quantum stuff. So now let's talk a little bit about Schrodinger's cat. So Schrodinger's cat is quite interesting. And if you guys aren't familiar with it, let me bring it up. Kind of explain it a little bit. Here we go. The simplest explanation. So if you guys don't know, it's got this it's this image of a cat. Is the best way to kind of explain it without text, right? So just have that in your head for a second, okay? Okay. So in simpler terms, Schrodinger said that if you place a cat and something that could kill the cat, like a radioactive atom, in a box and then sealed it, you would not know if the cat were dead or alive until you opened the box. So that until the box was opened, the cat was both dead and alive. This is used to represent how scientific theory works. No one knows if any scientific theory is right or wrong until said theory can be tested and proven. A lot of things, like when it comes to like space and stuff like that, and even time, there's a lot of theories, and some of which we can test and some of which we cannot test, due to limitations of like, you know, whether it's limitations of our technology or perhaps just how reality is. So yeah, so basically the idea is that the cat is both alive and dead at the same time until someone basically perceives the cat. Once you perceive the cat, then that reality exists. But until then, since there's no one around to perceive it, then the cat is both alive and dead at the same time. It's like, I kind of, when I think of this, I kind of think of like if a tree is cut in a forest and no one is around to hear it, doesn't make a sound, right? So then the answer to that would be it would make a sound and it wouldn't make a sound at the same time. But you wouldn't know until someone were to perceive it. Perhaps if a tree falls down in a forest, does it actually fall down at all if there's no one there to witness it falling down? Perhaps it never fell down. Perhaps it was always on the ground. Perhaps it wasn't that it fell down, it got cut down. Perhaps it got hit by an earthquake and that caused it to fall down. Like it's very, very interesting. All that sort of stuff. And it usually leads to giving me a really big headache. Honestly, but the idea of something not existing unless perceived is fascinating, honestly, because there are some ways in which you can kind of you can compare it to reality a little bit. Now I'm sure everything I said just sounds very silly and very kind of like superstitious, right? So, but we can talk a little bit about how light works. As to why it's so fascinating and kind of scary, because the way light works, like so the way that like when you look at something and the sun is out, if you're looking at your shadow, then you're perceiving that like the light is there and like that's your shadow and stuff like that. But if you were to look like at the same source of light, depending on the position and depending on where you are and like how much light and whatnot you have, that you might not see exactly the same thing. Now, of course, we know if you stand on top of a building and you look down at me and you look down and you see my shadow, you're going to see the same shadow, right? We know that to be the reality of it because, well, that's reality. We know that. But there's a lot of arguments to be had about whether or not that's true, especially when it comes to, man, like even like how we perceive light, right? Like as humans, we perceive light in a very particular way because of how our eyes work. But perhaps if you're like an alien from another planet who doesn't perceive things in the same way because of how their eyes work or whatnot, you would see something entirely different. Just kind of scary if you think of it like that. Anyway, I'm getting off topic and I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm mostly just talking. But yeah, quantum stuff is very interesting and kind of like has a little bit to do with reality, but a lot to do with like theories and stuff like that. But yeah, the cat would count as a being that could perceive, so it would be an observer to its own death. Yes, but we don't know the answer. We don't know the answer because we can't perceive it. You know? That's okay, you have a nice voice. Thank you. Light hitting the atmosphere is why ocean looks blue, isn't it? I think it's something to do with that. I'm gonna pour myself some more tea. More tea! So we all must become vampires so we can never have to worry about the light again. I don't think that's how that works. Aren't quantum states destroyed by observing them? I believe so, yes. Let's see. Let's see if we can kind of learn a little bit more here. Physics can be divided into two types, classic physics and quantum mechanics. A classic physics explains most physical interactions like why a ball bounces when it drops. It can also be used to predict physical interactions like what will happen when you drop a ball. However, there are some physical interactions which it does not explain. For instance, how light can be turned into electricity. Quantum mechanics provides a way for physicists to explain why these things happen. I always thought that was interesting that energy gets converted into like, I guess like energy is a source of like, or you can use energy to power things, right? And like, one of the things that I thought was really interesting is, okay, do we have anybody here who hasn't seen Full Metal Alchemist and doesn't want to know any spoilers? Because if so, maybe you should leave for a moment, because I want to talk a little bit about the one of the things that they were doing in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood specifically. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So perhaps if you're still in the middle of watching that at this point, which is totally fine. It is old, but I only finished it a few years ago. So anyway, yeah, just mute for a bit. Mute for a bit if you don't want to hear it. So like one of the things that they were doing is they realized that they could generate loads and loads of energy, power that they could use to fuel. I don't remember what it was they were trying to fuel. I think they were trying to create something, right? But they need a lot of energy to do that. And the best way to do that is the energy of like people, right? People have a lot of energy, beings have a lot of energy, and also depending on like the way that you want to look at it or what you believe in, you can also argue that maybe souls have energy, right? But yes, just think of like an individual person moving a wheel. Now think of like those people being reduced to just their entire energy, a human body, a human soul, a whole being being reduced to just the energy in themselves, and that basically is being explained as like a whole lot of it, a whole lot of energy being like Jesus, just crazy, right? Now if you were to do that and you'd go and take like entire cities and you'd go and turn that into, you just have massive amounts of power, just massive amounts of power because of that. So anyway, that's kind of like what I wanted to refer to a little bit when talking about energy and also electricity, because you know, if we're in some fucking fucked up world or whatever and we just want endless power, and we don't want to, you know, feed people, you can just, you know, take human, make energy. But fortunately, we don't really have the power to do that. We do not live in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We do not have powers to turn people into Philosopher's Stones. So yeah. And also we have stuff, yeah, we have stuff like water. We have conductive things, and we also have just like, I don't know, we can make wooden wheels that move water and stuff, which is really cool. Honestly, the funniest thing is like playing Minecraft with the mod pack that we've been using has taught me a little bit about, I guess, energy like usage, because they do a lot of stuff like that. It's very interesting that they can even code that, but I guess it ultimately comes down to like mathematics and stuff like that. Very interesting. Very interesting. The Matrix did this well, saying that we're like a D battery. Oh, this is just the main premise of FMA. I don't think it's a spoiler. Fair. Let's see. We know that there are electrons on particles, but we don't know where it is unless we take a picture. But by then, the time we see the picture, it isn't there anymore. Right. We make energy as we go. We can just harvest. Can't harvest it all at once. Right. Good morning, Germ. Hi, I. Solar power is an insane technological feat. Yes, it's amazing because the sun is going to be there for however long, like until it, you know, inevitably reaches the end of its life, which luckily we should be far off from that. Yeah, solar power is really great because it's just there. It's just there constantly. And it's not weakening the sun by using it as power. So it is quite nice. And also it doesn't require like having to consistently run other things that might not be so good, or it can be something that runs out, right? When there's a certain mineral or whatever that we use to power things, you know, if we take it from our planet and we use it and there's no way to generate more of it, then it will eventually run out. Whereas solar, we won't have to worry about that for quite some time. So yes. Fun fact, humans were not originally meant to be batteries for the Matrix. They were meant to be processing power, but execs at the time thought people wouldn't get it. Oh, interesting. They probably, I mean, to be honest, they probably wouldn't. Sometimes you got to make things simpler, but anyway, yeah. We're kind of getting off topic a little bit. I mostly just want to talk about that. So yeah, Schrödinger wanted to show this way of thinking about quantum mechanics would lead to absurd situations. He designed a thought experiment. A cat is placed in a room that is separated from the outside world. A Geiger counter counts the amount of radioactive decay, and a little bit of radioactive element is in the room. Within 1 hour, one of the atoms of the radioactive material might decay or break down because the material is not stable, or it may not. If the material breaks down, it will release an atom particle, which will hit the Geiger counter, which will release poison gas, which will kill the cat. The question now is, at the end of the hour, is the cat alive or dead? Schrödinger said that according to the Copenhagen interpretation, as long as the door is closed, the cat is dead and alive. There's no way to know until the door is open, but by opening the door, the person is interfering with the experiment. The person and the experiment have to be described with reference to each other. By looking at the experiment, the person has influenced the experiment, therefore it may not give us the correct answer. The thought experiment was invented by Schrödinger to demonstrate the foolishness of thinking about quantum states for large objects. It has also been referenced many times in pop culture. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about quantum stuff. I feel like it's very interesting, but it also kind of breaks my brain a little bit and also is a little scary. It's also a little scary. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. Are you learning? I'm certainly thinking. All the guy needed was a camera. Thought experiments can have tangents. True, that's kind of like the whole point. Nuclear is safer than anything but solar. Solar actually produces more waste than nuclear. Yeah, it's interesting. Like because you'd have to create like a thing for the solar. Yeah, it's very interesting conversation I have. But anyway, quantum stuff is actually pretty good mathematically. I bet. I feel like quantum stuff, it kind of relies on mathematics. Math is very fascinating. It's very fascinating, but also very scary. And I'm bad at math. You know. Photovoltaic is currently net negative, but other solar is great, like heating black pipes filled with water. Ooh, that's nice. There was like some roads that they were trying to make that were like going to generate tons of solar power, but they were brittle. I believe. And so they would break often. And so then they would need to replace them often. So then it kind of creates more waste. Math is also flawed / incomplete. That's the craziest thing, right? That's the craziest thing, is that math is flawed / incomplete. I mean, that is why I believe is why we sometimes get like bugs in our computer, right? Not like physical bugs, because it's not complete. Like we're having the computer do tons of math at like lightning speeds, like a lot of different ways to make things happen. But like, if we don't understand how to tell it how to do things, then we can't make it better. Because we just don't know like the limitations of the math. That's wild. That's wild. And like, wasn't pi pretty revolutionary? Like the discovery of pi? Like, what the fuck? Oh, trust me, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it because I really can't. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that sort of stuff. I just know a little bit. But it blows my mind. I hate it so much. And the thing is that you can't always describe math. That's the thing that got me to where I failed Algebra 1 and had to take it over the summer because I don't like things that don't have good answers. So for example, if it's like, if I ask, okay, but why is, I can't even give an example, but it's like, oh, well, why is this that? And math just tells you because it is. That's math. That's not a good answer for me. That's a very frustrating answer for me. It makes me want to rage and get angry because I guess maybe in some ways it can be explained. It's like, oh, it's because of this, but then you have to go down a whole fucking rabbit hole. No, I need more understandable logic for me to understand something better. I can't. So math frustrates me a lot, especially like more and more intense kind of like math equations. Like, listen, if you're good at math, that's awesome. You're fucking smart. I can't do it. It's too much. Makes my head hurt. Makes me mad. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Why math can explain everything but nothing. I know. And we're always learning more too. It's okay. Math is made up. It kind of is. It's made up, but like it works. So we're going to keep doing it, you know? I wonder where we'll be in like 2,000 years. What will you have found out? You know? To a degree, yeah, but the majority of bugs are just improper implementation of the top level coder or oversights. True, or smashing too many things together. Putting too many windows, different programs together that don't necessarily work together for one reason or another. Yeah, math is interesting that it even works. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, like why square root of -1 occurs in nature. What the fuck? God damn it. Oh no, you guys are putting too many numbers in the freaking chat. Now I'm getting overwhelmed. Now I'm getting overwhelmed. Oh man. Math is quantifying observable reality. So because it is just means it's observable, unless the person you asked just doesn't understand a deeper level. I get you though. I'm always asking why and trying to picture things as low level as possible, even to the point of heat being a exited particle. Yeah, that's a lot. Every processor actually has an incomplete list of errors, because the logic gates just can't have perfect logic. Whoa, interesting. Hi Aeon, hi Ai, congrats on 6K. Thank you so much. Yeah, we hit 6K YouTube subscribers. Thank you guys so much, and we're getting really close to 1,000 Twitch followers as well. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. You might be saying it as a joke, but putting too much shit together is absolutely a reason for bugs. Well, yeah, absolutely. That's one of the reasons. I'm not going to go into a tangent about this yet, but it's one of the reasons why Windows isn't as good as Mac when it comes to like overall reliability. So you can put way too much shit and you just kind of throw it together, so you're bound to get a lot more errors and bugs and dealing with bullshit versus Mac. That's or like Apple products in general that are very strict about what they allow on there. Versus Windows is very open. You can do whatever you want. But you probably just shouldn't. Shouldn't, you know? Mac cuts out options so they can refine the fewer things that exist. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You run Linux, dude. We have. I love that we have Linux, Windows, and Apple people here. Ooh, can we run a little poll? I'm not gonna run. Actually, no. We will run a real poll. I want to know how many people here use Apple, Linux, and Windows. Here, I'm gonna run a poll because I really actually want to know. I am so fascinated. Okay, here. Let's do a poll. Okay. I'm gonna start a poll on all three of our all two of our platforms here. Let's see. Which OS do you use? What if you're more than one? Use the one that you use the most. Like, just use the most. Work or casual, I would say. Windows, Apple, or Linux. What wouldn't be? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So I'll start it on YouTube and I'll start it on Twitch. Poll. There we go. Okay, I have it up on YouTube now. And then if you guys are watching the VOD, leave a comment and let me know which one you use too. Because I'm so curious. I'm so curious. All right. And there we go. Okay, we have polls running on both platforms now. I'm going to expect that most of you are using Windows, but we've had a surprising amount of people say Linux lately. And so it just makes me very, very curious, like what you guys are doing. We have at least a couple Linux people. I don't know if all the Linux people are online though. They might not be. We'll have to check the comments later. For once, my Linux status is acknowledged. Tears of joy. Oh my God, the good old delete system 32 trick. So good. So good. Save icon not on a floppy disk. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Whoa, 0% Apple. There's 0% Apple on the poll right now. None of you guys use Mac? None of you guys use Apple products? I guess I should have put Mac, not Apple, whatever, it's fine. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. It's like mostly Windows and some Linux. Fascinating. That's fascinating. Wow. I would not have expected that at all. I'll leave the poll up for a little while. I guess I should have left it up longer on Twitch as well. I use Mac for work and I hate it, but it's mostly just an experience. I understand that. I was very much in that boat too, to where I also didn't like Apple, but actually I've come around. It's actually, especially if you use it with multiple things, which I know does sound very culty. It's like, oh, use your phone, you know, tablet. I have a MacBook and I also have a phone and I also have a tablet. So having those three be able to work very, very, very nice together. Oh, it's just, I can't explain just how nice that is. It is actually phenomenal. And I've never used a piece of technology that has worked so well for me. Don't get me wrong, 99% of the time I'm using my Windows PC. I'm using my Windows PC. I love it. I love it. But I get Mac. I get Mac and I do like it. And I like having the existence of both in my life. It's very nice. Apple ecosystem is undeniably better. Windows is terrible integrating with anything. Or if you know what you're doing. Like, I feel like the way to look at it, Windows is like cookie cutter, or not cookie cutter. Windows is like, you can have whatever you want if you know how to make it. If you know how to make it, you can have whatever the fuck you want, and you can break it to make it like work exactly how you want. Apple is exactly what it is. And if you don't like that, you're not going to want to do it. But if you like it and you like what it has to offer, then it's going to do that job fantastically. I actually wanted to create a video as an Apple. Okay, I wouldn't say an Apple hater, but you know, that's a nice inflammatory tone. I want to create a video about how I used to be an Apple hater because I didn't care about Apple at all, and then I literally I like it a lot now. I wouldn't say that I love it more than Windows. Like, I love them for different reasons, but it's definitely my top now. Like, it's a real contender. Like, if I were to sit down and be like, all right, you got to choose between Windows and using like Android and stuff like that for all your everything, or you can use MacBook, iPad, and like iPhone. Then I'd probably go the Mac route, just because of the conveniences having all of those devices has, and like how well they work and how fantastically they run, and after several years they still run fantastically. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. Yeah, I want to do a video about that because I think it'd be very interesting as someone who never touched like any Apple products before, you know? Oh my God, the Windows Phone. I had a family member who got the Windows Phone. I thought it was very interesting. I didn't like actually like look into it a little bit. I just know that they had it, you know? This incompatibility is like a cage that crotches in on you. Yeah, I can. Like when I was younger, I did not like the idea of having an iPhone because I wanted to customize my phone as much as I wanted to. Now I care less about that, and also now the options for customizability when it comes to the iPhone are a lot better. But anyway, I could talk a lot about this. This is not the point of today's stream. We'll talk about this in the future. But we do have a few people who did put Apple in the poll. So that's cool. We have our poll on YouTube, and I apologize to Twitch. I meant to make that poll much, much longer. I believe we had 100% Windows on Twitch poll, and then on YouTube we have 83% Windows. We have 6% Apple, 11% Linux, and that's out of 47 votes. I believe we had 5 votes, I think, on Twitch. We could devote a whole stream to talking about Apple versus Android phones. We could invest like an entire week on just talking about that, honestly. There's a lot to talk about. We'd have to like there's so many little caveats, you know, so many little caveats. My gosh. But anyway, let's focus instead on one of my favorite things that has to do with quantum stuff. And I'm so excited to talk to you guys about this. Okay, listen. So one of the things that I think is very fascinating is quantum suicide or quantum immortality. I'm going to refer to it as quantum immortality from this point forward. Just avoid saying that so many times for a number of reasons to anybody who doesn't necessarily want to hear that word, and 2, so that YouTube doesn't bonk me in the head. But it's kind of known as both, and I'll explain it off of this article here, and then I want to explain it to you the way that I kind of learned about it, and also this Reddit thread that I read about it like a few years ago that just like was really fascinating. So anyway, hopping right into it. So quantum immortality or quantum suicide in this idea is a thought experiment in quantum mechanics and philosophy of physics. Purportedly, it can falsify any interpretation of quantum mechanics other than the Everett many worlds interpretation by means of a variation of the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment from the cat's point of view. Quantum immortality refers to the subjective experience of surviving quantum suicide. This concept is sometimes conjectured to be applicable to real-world causes of death as well. As a thought experiment, quantum suicide is an intellectual exercise in which an abstract setup is followed through to its logical consequences merely to prove a theoretical point. Virtually all physicists and philosophers of science who have described it, especially in popularized treatments, underscored that it relies on contrived, idealized circumstances that may be impossible or exceedingly difficult to realize in real life, and that its theoretical premises are controversial even among supporters of the many worlds interpretation. Thus, a cosmologist, Anthony Aguirre, warns it would be foolish and selfish in the extreme to let this possibility guide one action on any life and death question. Now, you might be like, well, what does that mean? You just said a whole lot of words. What does that even mean? You didn't really explain what this is. So, we're going to go into the actual thought experiment itself. I'm going to read it exactly as it says here, and maybe like throw in some of my my takes or like the things that I've learned that might help you explain it a little bit more. So, all right. So, so the thought experiment. The quantum suicide thought experiment involves a similar apparatus to Schrodinger's cat, a box which kills the occupant in a given time frame with probability 1/2 due to quantum uncertainty. The only difference is to have the experimenter recording observations be the one inside the box. The significance of this is that someone whose life or death depends on a ooh, I've never seen this word before. Quubbed? Hold on, I'm gonna look this word up. Quibbed? Hold on. Pronunciation.
Qubit.
Qubit. Okay, qubit. Qubit, just like a binary bit is the basic unit of information in classical or traditional computing. Okay. A qubit or a quantum bit is the basic unit of information in quantum computing. Okay. It has to do with quantum stuff. Okay, I gotcha. A qubit. Anyway, depends on a qubit could possibly distinguish between interpretations of quantum mechanics. By definition, fixed observers cannot. At the start of the first iteration, under both interpretations, the probability of surviving the experiment is 50%, as given by the squared norm of the wave function. Okay, this is a really hard way of describing this. I'm gonna kind of like, let me see if I can find an easier way to describe this. So basically, like, the idea is that like under circumstances in which you should most certainly die, you don't. Is the best way to like kind of explain that. Also, the idea of like quantum immortality kind of comes into play, where it's like the idea of like under circumstances you should die, but you don't, and the reason why can be explained through like different things. So like one of the ways that I learned and that I think is very fascinating is the idea that there are multiple realities that exist. Yeah, IRL plot armor, exactly. Also, Lubar, thank you so much for the raid over on Twitch. I really appreciate it. Welcome in. We're talking about thought experiments and specifically about quantum immortality right now, which is a very fascinating like quantum thought experiment about the idea of you and your existence and not, despite the circumstances, still being alive. So if I die in another reality, I'm still alive in another reality. Yes, basically. And then also the idea that if you perhaps did die in one reality, that version of you like no longer exist, and the version of you that is existing right now also can perhaps transfer to another timeline in which you continue to live on, which can also like we were talking about Mandela effect earlier, can also come into play. Mandela effect. Perhaps you died at some point in your life. I can remember at least one point in my life in which I most certainly should have gotten at least incredibly hurt, or perhaps probably died, but I did not, and a really strange thing happened, and I continued living. Now you can say that perhaps that was the moment in time where Mr. Rogers said it was different, right? I can question that. See, this is why this is fun for me. Also, if you guys are new here, welcome in. Hi, my name is Aishii Ai. I'm a girl from the year 4000 who is here to entertain and make memories with all of you. Life can get crazy, so let loose with me and we'll all get through this together. We're talking about like quantum stuff, very like brain hurt stuff. But if it's fascinating to you, please stick around. We're mostly just having fun. We're not taking it too seriously, but we're just we're having fun, having a thought experiment. Yes. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of it. And what it was saying earlier in this article too about like, is basically saying that it was irresponsible for anyone to take this too seriously, is because, well, if you don't value your life that much, right? If you don't value your life that much, you think that no matter what you do, no matter what happens, you are going to continue to exist. You'll probably be incredibly reckless, right? You'll probably be really reckless, and you might do things that could put other people in danger and yourself in danger. Because this is not proven, then you should shouldn't do that, which is why, you know, even people who might believe that multiple realities exist and perhaps you can continue living on, feel it's irresponsible, which I agree. You should never live in a way that puts yourself in danger and the others in danger. And the way that I see it too, even if I were to wholeheartedly believe that this exists and that I in my everyday, I will never basically die, that I will continue to live on. I believe that the realities in which I leave behind would probably still exist and still hurt the people around me. So for example, if I were to die in one reality because I was really stupid and I did something dumb and I got really hurt and I died, then all those people in my life would experience the pain and the hurt of my death, and they would go through great anguish and great, you know, upset, and would be really, really hurt, and I would never want to put them through that. So I think it's very, very important to definitely not risk that. If not for yourself and the chance that you might be wrong, but for the sake of other people, to not cause them undue suffering and harm. Yes, yes. I see the theory as peace of mind for life after death. I do as well, meaning that you can live life without fear of the end. See, well, I think this theory gives me peace of other people passing. So, you know, I've had people in my life who have passed and are no longer with me, and I will never see again. And that is hard, of course. And, you know, that requires a level of, acceptance and coping and whatnot. You know, and I think that everyone should learn to be okay with those people not being a part of their lives anymore. And it could take any amount of time. And it could take you years, it could take you, decades, and that's okay. You should take your time. But also, depending on how you look at it, if it provides you extra comfort of the idea of that person perhaps still living in another universe, living their best life, then I think that that's also like a nice little fun coping mechanism, which sometimes brings a smile to my face whenever I think about people who are no longer around, who provided, great happiness to my life and to the people around me. It makes me happy to think about the possibility that they might still be, living their life in another, existence beyond mine or past mine or whatever, still being their best selves. So that's quite nice. That's quite nice. Whether or not that's true or that exists, the idea of it's nice. So I like that. I like that quite a bit. Yeah, yeah. Now, of course, you do have the question, of course, of whether or not, if you never die, then when do you cease to exist, right? When do you cease to exist? If your physical body is essentially immortal because you keep your mind or your soul or whatever keeps swapping between different realities and stuff like that, well, when do you cease to exist? Well, that's a good question. I don't have an answer for you, but I think that's also we don't have an answer to life and death ever anyway. So you can kind of just think however you'd like about it. However, I think that the idea of like quantum immortality and like always basically being alive would unfortunately probably mean that if you believe wholeheartedly in that you do not believe in reincarnation. And I think reincarnation is a very interesting concept as well. Not sure if I believe in that either, but it's very interesting. But I don't think the two can exist. Maybe at some point in the future. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? We're dropping some frames. All right, we should be back though. Let's see. Let me get caught up on your guys' thoughts a little bit. Thinking you're immortal after an NDE is the exact opposite lesson you should learn. Oh, definitely. Near-death experience. Yeah, you should definitely be more careful. I would say that my I could explain my near-death experience, even though I'm... man, that would lead me to want to talk about all sorts of things. But I guess it could open the door for future streams to talk about those things. So I'll talk about it here in a moment. Just remind me to talk about that after I show you some other things to do with like quantum immortality. Let's see. I see the theory, peace of mind. Oh yeah, I read that. The only issue I have with it is that I am in as matter of fact terms as possible, am a moral nihilist. What is that again? I don't have faith. Oh, okay. Insofar as it is to do with religious ideals or an afterlife, but I do have hope, strangely enough. I don't think that's strange to have hope and not believe in like, and not have like faith or believe in like a bigger power, that there's something beyond life or anything like that. I don't think it's strange to have hope. I don't think that's strange at all. I think that makes quite a lot of sense. And also I think it's very human to have hope, you know? Literal existential copium. I think there'd come a point where you could not die. Yeah, I think that's probably true. I feel like if maybe there'd be a point in time in which you could kind of like mentally decide when you could die, right? Maybe there's a certain point, like, you know, I don't know, 90 years old on your deathbed or whatever, or like, you know, I don't know, because you hear about people, right? You hear about people taking care of people in hospitals, and you can hear stories about how some people would be like, they'll be content with life, and then shortly after they express their contentment, they pass on, right? Maybe it's you know, we can talk about, maybe it's, you know, you may not choose to be alive, or at least that we don't think that we choose to be alive, but perhaps you do have essentially in a way the decision to pass on when your soul is thoroughly happy or content. I don't know. Yeah, just don't die. Smiley face. Quantum unalive would only apply if you had a non 100% chance of death. If you're 100% sure you die, then you're done. Right, but I don't think there's in life there's no certainty with anything, right? There's no 100% of anything. There's always that slim, tiny chance that you could perhaps survive, even in the most dire circumstances. There's always something that could possibly go wrong. You know, the butterfly effect, right? That one piece of speck that got in that gear that went and messed it up, and yeah, you know, you were able to get out of this weird trap. I don't know, stuff like that, right? You know. Just realized quantum immortality is science trying to justify the likeliness of getting isekai. Death brings meaning to all. Nothing would have value if our time wasn't limited. True. I'm spending time with Ai in my short time, which means a lot. Aww. I'm spending my time with you guys, and I appreciate every single moment. Because I never know when, not to sound bad, I never know which one what might be my last. So I want to make sure that I treasure it all. What do you think of those people who have memories of people's past lives? Those things interest me a lot. It makes me wonder about like reincarnation a little bit. You also hear about children who have really weird experiences, like knowing languages that they shouldn't know and stuff like that, but then they grow older and they don't. Also children having experiences with like spirits and stuff like that, but then not when they get older. I don't have much hope left. I just distract the dark thoughts with VTubers. Well, hopefully a VTuber can give you hope. Have you ever heard of our Lord and Savior Iris? Whenever I think of Iris, I just think of hope. I'm sorry. No, but I hope that you can find a way to gain more hope in life. I really do. Life is worth living. It is hard though. Life is a mysterious figure, you might say. Life is. It's very interesting. Very interesting. People ask about religion. I quote Carl Sagan. I choose to skeptically interrogate the universe with a fine understanding of human fallibility. Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. This might tie into when I was younger, I was crossing the street, got hit by a car and woke up 12 hours in a hospital bed. Maybe that me died and another time, and another me got dragged into this timeline. Dude, I'm so excited to read this Reddit post that I'm really excited about. I'm so excited. I have to read it. Oh man. All right, hold on. I'm gonna read this post because if I keep reading comments, we're gonna continue to get off track. So let me reel you guys in a little bit, okay? Okay. So I had seen, I do believe it was like a TikTok or some sort of video. It was a short video, so it had to have been a TikTok. And then I somehow stumbled upon this Reddit thread. Or if I didn't stumble upon this Reddit thread, I stumbled upon someone reading this Reddit thread. Now this was one of the first things that I'd ever read about the whole concept of quantum immortality. And it interested me So much so, I'd never stopped thinking about it since. Now, again, I want to preface this and say, I don't not believe in this, and I don't believe in this either. I think that it's a very fascinating idea, and if it brings you comfort and it brings you fascination, then I think it's good. I think it's good. So yeah. Also, thank you guys for voting in the poll. I see that Apple and Linux on YouTube is tied with us having 79% of people using Windows. That seems a little bit more accurate. I'm very surprised that Linux and Apple are tied though. Anyway, so let me go ahead and read this. So we're gonna read this just as it is. It's a little long, but it's also very short paragraphs, so we should be able to go it pretty quickly. So yeah, let me go ahead and read this. I've read at least part of this or half of this before, but we're just gonna go ahead and read it. I have for sure died twice, quite possibly 4 times. One of the two I'm very confident, and the first one happened in about 1998 and the other in 2018 or so. In the first instance, my best friend and I were driving gravel back roads in the middle of the night, 40 miles between towns in rural South Dakota. I was admittedly going far too fast, and we came over a small rise, and there was a T in the road where you could turn left or right, but straight forward was a driveway for a farmhouse. The driveway went for about half a block or so and then transitioned into a cornfield. I remember saying, "Oh fuck," and starting to slow down as we started flying through the very tall corn. It was late summer and the corn stalks were basically full grown. The sound as my car plowed over the corn stalks and the field sounded like the most vicious hailstorm ever. The experience was completely overwhelming to the senses. The sight and sounds of flying headlong at high speeds into a fully grown, dense planted cornfield cannot be overstated. This is where things get weird. The next thing I remember was sitting at a stop sign where we would turn onto the main highway in the area. It was nearly completely silent, with only the slight hum of the engine creating any sound. This was at least several miles away from the cornfield we'd just flown into. My blinker was on to the left and the car was still sitting with my foot on the brakes. The black motion of dead silence was, for reasons unknown, also absolutely overwhelming. I felt extremely disoriented and discombobulated and was honestly not certain how I had come to this point and was even concerned that perhaps I'd blacked out or something. I was just not certain how we arrived where we are currently sitting. At this point, I do not remember flying through that intersection or crashing through the cornfield. The memory was gone, either blocked or unremembered. I looked over at my friend and again said, "What the fuck?" He had a dumbfounded look on his face as well and shrugged his shoulders. And after a moment, said, "I think we go left." I actually got out of my car and found the Northern Star to make sure we were turning the correct direction onto the highway. I also surveyed the situation, grasping for some semblance of understanding. We were surprisingly close to the town I lived at the time. In short order, we made it to my apartment and both crashed as it was 4 in the morning and we had a very long day. I was dead sober for this entire experience, but I did not feel right and knew something was amiss. So for reference, I haven't read this part of the story yet. I probably read about halfway in, so. Also, hi Ivale, welcome in, welcome in. When we got up the next day about mid-morning and got back into my car to drive to my friend's town where he was attending college, which was going to be about a 5-hour drive. We needed gas and stopped at the station to fill up and get other miscellaneous supplies. My car I was driving at the time was old enough to be using a bit of oil, so I almost always checked the oil. Again, at this moment, my memories of the cornfield and all that were completely gone. It's kind of an interesting thing to say considering you're talking about this. I popped the hood and went around to the front of the car again to get at the engine. I lifted the hood and glanced down. Sorry, I was not expecting this turn of the story. I have never been so baffled and immediately enlightened at the same time. A light breeze would have knocked me over. The engine compartment was almost completely chock full of corn stalks. My knees went weak and I became very, very heady, and I felt to perform several full spins. Once again, I very loudly and firmly proclaimed the "what the fuck" and called to my friend so he would come around to the front of the car. The very instant I saw the corn stalks in the engine compartment, the entire accident flashed back to me. I don't remember the point of death, but I remember all the other details, including being very confused sitting at the top stop sign at the highway and the brutal contrast between flying through the field and still sitting atop the stop sign. My friend said to me, "Do you remember?" I said, "Yeah." We talked it over multiple times during our long drive, and we had the same exact memories. His memory also returned to him the second he saw the cord in the car as well. A couple months later, I tried to drive the same roads back that we had been driving to find the intersection and the farmhouse and the driveway in the cornfield. There were a couple of very unique details to the location where the accident had happened that should have made it very easy to recognize and find. I was never able to locate a spot like this on any of the other roads anywhere around where we could have been driving. Microsoft had just released their satellite imagery, and I scoured everywhere between those two cities and have never ever been able to find the location where we had our accident. I honestly don't think it exists on this timeline. The other time, I was out in the middle of the night again in a very rural area during a thunderstorm to take lightning photos. I'm pretty sure I saw the lightning bolt that killed me prior to my timeline jump. I remember sitting in the car and finishing my styrofoam cup at a gas station coffee and hopping out of the car to smoke a cigarette and go pee on the gravel road. Most of the lightning was several miles to the west, and it wasn't even actually raining where I was parked. I was not worried about lightning safety at this point. Now, the very large power lines that take electricity to the town I was living in were right by this road. I've been pretty close to a couple lightning strikes. I'm no stranger. I remember getting that very powerful static feeling, and the hair on my head and on my arm started to stand up. I knew what was coming. I started to say, "Oh fuck," reach for the door handle, and before I could even get the profanity out, I remember a profoundly huge snap sound and a blinding white light. The next thing I remember was sitting in my parked car and my nearly full cup of coffee in my hand. I remember thinking that I wanted to smoke a cigarette and I needed to go pee, so I chugged the lukewarm coffee and started to get out of the car. The second my feet hit the ground, I felt the most massive wave of deja vu I had ever experienced. I nervously glanced up beside the road to look up at the power lines, but the spot I had stopped previously was about a mile down the road, and the power lines had turned a corner and not followed the road down to this point. I glanced down the ground to what I thought was the spot I had previously been in. And just as I looked down at the road, lightning struck the power line in multiple massive flashes, and I even saw the lightning bolt jump down the road onto the power line. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I witnessed the very lightning bolt that killed me. I have a couple other experiences where I'm pretty sure I died, but the situations were ambiguous enough that I'm not certain. Celius, thank you so much for the congrats on the 6K. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just gonna say this guy is either full schizo or having an actual schizo moment. So I'm gonna have to agree with you. So this is not the story that I thought it was, actually. I'm gonna see if I can try and find the other story. So that's very interesting. It's a very interesting story. I'm not sure if I necessarily believe it because I've never experienced anything quite like this, especially having like a full memory of something and then being in a different spot. I've definitely had some interesting scenarios where I will be in the exact same spot and I'll feel as if I'm going to experience something similar or something exactly the same, being in the exact same spot at the exact same time. There was no difference in like location. So I think that's very interesting. I think that's very interesting. But the story that I was trying to find, and I hope I can find it. I'll see if I can. Actually, I'll just tell you guys the story. So the story was about this this person, and he was in the car with a friend of his. He was in the car with a friend of his, and they were driving down the road. And I don't remember if it was dark or anything like that, but basically they were just driving, and they suddenly had like kind of like a weird feeling, like a jolt. Yeah, like your consciousness jumps ahead of time and wondering, when did I get here? Yeah, like kind of like that sort of feeling. Yeah. This weird kind of like unsettling feeling like, wait, I've already been here. I've already done this. But both people in the car kind of experienced that. And they and they didn't say anything at the time, but the person who was recalling this memory was talking about how they felt really weird, and they felt like there should have been a car to the right of them, like as if there was going to be a collision to the right of them. But when they went to when they went to go look, there was nothing there. Bye, iChrono. Have a good time. Have a good night. There was nothing there. There was no one there. But they felt really weird, really fucking weird. And so then they turned to their, I think they ended up pulling off off to the side of the road and ended up asking the people beside them, like, hey, did you feel that? And they kind of explained how they felt like they should have been in a car accident, and both of them felt that they should have been in a car accident, and that it would have come from like the right door or whatever, the right side of the car, but that they just kind of felt really weird all of a sudden at the same time. But they were obviously fine. There was no car there, nothing happened, but they felt like it should have happened. Now the way it was told was probably a lot better than how I just explained it, but for some reason that sat with me. And I thought about it a lot. And I thought about the unlikelihood it would be for two people to experience the same thing at the same time of something so peculiar. Doesn't really feel like that's not really an explanation for that, I don't think. Yeah. And so I did a little bit more like research about other people who had kind of experienced that sort of thing. And then I grew immediately fascinated. I don't know if I can find the exact story. I'd found it the other day, I thought. I thought that I'd saved it. I had saved like a PDF or something like that about it. But I might have saved the wrong one. Let me go check actually. Maybe it's the Mandela effect all over again. Maybe I never actually saved that PDF. Let me see. Let's see. I think I would have saved it in here, yeah? I'll try and see if I can find it. I don't remember where I saved it exactly. Do you have a specific time you always see on a clock? No, never. Never anything like that. I have heard of stuff like that though. I had similar feelings right before my epileptic seizures. It feels like a jump ahead in time a little bit, or like I'm seeing what's about to happen and can't change it. Whoa, that's so fascinating. Whoa, I wonder why that is. Whoa, maybe the stream isn't even real. Highway hypnosis explains a lot of strange stories while driving. Yeah, highway hypnosis is scary. Man, I don't know where I saved that. I'll just look for PDFs, I guess, but if I can't find it, it's fine. I saved it on my Mac though. I remember looking it up. I have my Mac next to me. Maybe I'll try and find it. Maybe in another reality you saved it, right? Maybe it's not in this reality, guys. Maybe that story I saved. The thing is I might have just saved the exact one I just read though. Because I just merely looked through it like real quickly. I'm like, oh, I think this is the story, and I really quick saved it as a PDF just in case. Oh no, here it is. I found it. But I think, yeah, it's the same story as before. I thought so. Too bad, too bad. Hyper vivid imagination. Let's focus on reality, giving room to imagine those feelings, like how we can imagine scents before we plan a meal. See, that's a fair hypothesis. But I also think, it's unlikely for two people to experience the same thing at the same time. I remember driving really late at night, going home from uni. I suddenly realized I'm at my house's gates. Yeah, I think, yeah, like especially driving at night, I think that that's incredibly common. I'm gonna try one more time to see if I can find this story. And if I can't, then oh, I like the explanation of this. Maybe we'll read this one. Then I'll tell you guys my story. Quantum immortality is real, and that's why in 2016, what? Why 2016 was so bizarre? What is this? What is this? Is it aliens? No, I don't think it's aliens. Wait, what the fuck? My dad once told me, Donato-san, I can't tell you what your reality is without breaking it. And I thought it was the most profound thing when I was 15. I'm 38 now. That sounds mind-blowing. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, here. Let's read these two things, then I'll tell you guys my story. Let's see, what is this? Quantum immortality ascribing to the many worlds interpretation essentially states that if multiple universes exist, that a conscious being can never truly die, because in any situation where you are killed, the reality in which you weren't killed gets superimposed and you continue living in that alternate reality. Damn, this is a really good explanation of what I was trying to say earlier. God damn. God damn. This one looks political. It probably could be. We will simply read it with the idea of it not being real. I theorize that there must have been multiple iterative realities where catastrophic events occurred. These events have killed so many people that the superimposed survival realities are starting to become increasingly more and more bizarre. Ooh, so this is like an idea of like the multiverse collapsing in on itself sort of thing, yeah? Think Sliders, the TV series, only instead of jumping between radically different universes, we're just sliding along a series of realities with small incremental changes every time we die. Right? Yeah, there you go. The cumulative effect of mass death is rapidly depleting the number of realities where everything makes sense, and we're slipping into universes of madness. Ooh. My evidence for this theory is that in a scant series of years, we have progressed to a state where the two top presidential candidates are Trump and Clinton. The Cubs are in the World Series. Cats and dogs are living together. That's such a fucking funny thing to say. Britain is internationally perceived as dumber than the US. Jet fuel can apparently melt steel beams. There are multiple reality TV shows about how hard it is to find love when you're super attractive. And massive hurricanes are heralding worldwide climatic disaster due to global warming, and no one seems to give a shit. Damn, this one's great. God, it's so funny. Oh, dude. That's a mood. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria! Okay. Let's go to this other one. Let's see. So. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Okay. So let's see this one. My friend and I died in a car crash. Then we were respawn/reset. I'm convinced quantum immortality or parallel dimensions exist to a degree. Maybe this is the one I read. I'm not gonna cross my fingers, so let's just read it. I think I might have shared this already, but I need to go into more detail about what happened. About 6 to 8 years ago, my friend Giovanni, your friend's name is actually Giovanni and I left my house to go get some late night McDonald's. You know, just young fellas doing what young fellas do at 2 a.m. after a night of partying, etc. We got into this white Mustang, left the neighborhood, and began driving on one of the main roads towards McDonald's, which is about 2 miles away. As we cross an intersection just about a half mile away from McDonald's, we get slammed by another car and thrown, and we proceed to roll. All I remember from the impact is that the car was speeding very fast. The impact was brutal. Glass shards flew everywhere, and the sound of plastic and metal scraping the asphalt. We died upon impact. We were gone. Then it was all just black. I saw that the car was annihilated looking at it from above. The scene was distressing. Then just as soon as the scene played out of our deaths, it abruptly ended, and we were automatically back. We were both standing at the front door about to leave McDonald's. I looked over at Gio, and Gio's tearing up and shaking with his hand on the doorknob. Bro, what the fuck was that? If we leave and go right now, we're gonna die in a car crash. All he replied with was something along the lines of, I know. Gio was shaking terribly, and I felt sick to my stomach. Interesting. Giromo. I didn't say that right. Yeah, interesting. This is not the story I was thinking of. It's interesting how people describe themselves as like kind of like a respawn sort of situation. It's really interesting. I would almost, I don't know. I guess the way that I grew to be interested in this whole theory, I guess, was the idea of it feeling more like deja vu versus like a reset. It's very interesting. It's very interesting how these people have experienced or are explaining how they experience certain things, you know? The fake lamp story, I don't know if it's QI, but it's fascinating and unsettling nonetheless. No, I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Yeah, this is what Final Destination was warning about us the whole time. Okay, but no, but what I did want to tell you guys, what I did want to share with you guys is, I wanted to share like my possible near-death experience, but this goes on to like a small other tangent that I won't get into, but I'll at least tell you guys a little bit about it. All right, and you guys can, I'll allow you guys to think on it yourself, because this is, after all, it was a thought experiment stream. So I want you guys to consider what you want with this whole thing. So yeah. Anyway, so I was pretty young. I was pretty young at the time. I was let's see. So this was, I had to have been younger than, I was younger than 11. Honestly, if I had to guess, I was probably around 8 years old or something like that. So I did that thing where, you know, when your mom comes home from the grocery store and, you know, you have a bunch of grocery bags, you're gonna load your arms up, right? You're gonna load your arms up like crazy. Now listen, I have a big family. And so we ended up, we have a basement, and we end up having an extra refrigerator and a deep freezer down in the basement to keep like extra food. So like basically my mom would like try and get stuff as cheap as possible. We would keep it, and then we would freeze it, and then we would use it, you know, so that way we never had to worry about food. If we were going through a tough, you know, month or whatever, we always had everything. So that meant that sometimes, you know, if we did not have enough room in the fridge upstairs, or it needed to go downstairs, we had to take the bags downstairs. So I load my arms up. Yeah, load my arms up. One trip, right? One trip. I always tell myself, one trip. So yep, I load my arms up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take these downstairs. So I head downstairs. There's a small set of stairs, a landing, and then there's the bigger set of stairs. All right. My ass trips on the first fucking stair down the longer set of stairs, not the landing. I was at the landing and I trip. Now, this is one trip, guys. This is one trip challenge with fucking all those bags on my arms. That was fucking heavy as shit. It was fucking heavy as shit. All right? It's concrete. Pure concrete down there in the freaking in there. So tell me why my ass didn't get hurt at all. I will tell you guys this exactly how I experienced it, and you guys can choose whether or not to believe me. I floated down the stairs. And then I landed on the rug. There was a small little rug at the bottom of the stairs on my knees. I had no bruises on my knees. I did not feel the impact of landing. I was down at the bottom of the stairs. And I'm kind of shocked. I was like, what just happened? I'm there, like, with like both my arms still have the groceries, right? Nothing fell out of the bags either. And I was like, what? And then like my dad starts to like come down the stairs, and like he's at the top of the stairs. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't even know what I said, honestly. And at the time, I thought it had to have been like some sort of like mystical faith creature, which I don't think is true, but I have a few other theories as to what it was. Now, you can argue, one of the theories is, I probably did die. I should have died. I should have went straight into the fucking concrete, and I would have cracked my head open, and I would have been dead. There's no way. But I didn't die. I didn't even come close to it in that moment, right? So, yeah. So, I think it was supernatural. Now, I can't get into this today. Supernatural's a whole other freaking conversation that we'll have to have, because I've had a lot of weird supernatural experiences growing up. And so, yeah. And I'd love to have a conversation about that sort of stuff because I love talking about it, because I think that it's interesting to consider perhaps supernatural things existing, or it not existing, or it existing in some sort of interesting thing. Like I don't think demons exist. You know? So I think it's interesting to kind of consider all of those things. So yeah, it is very interesting. So yeah, that's the only thing that I can describe as a near-death experience, honestly. Is that sort of a very bizarre situation where I was not hurt, not even slightly. But luckily, I don't think I've ever had anything like that happen again. I've had a lot of really weird deja vu. And I have had a lot of weird, inexplainable things. And I do still have nightmares about places that I was very unsettled and uncomfortable in growing up. Like for no explainable reason, really. I just felt really uncomfortable and I didn't like it, and it felt like something was there. Do you ever had a reoccurring dream before? Yes, I've had one reoccurring dream. Do you want to hear about it? It's very strange. And it's also kind of funny. It's also kind of funny. I had some of my favorite anime characters in it at the time. But after I had it the third time and I solved a puzzle, I didn't have it again. Because the dream always ended with a puzzle not being solved. Okay, I'll tell you guys the story. So what it is it was a dream where it was like me and a bunch of other anime characters that I really liked. So like characters from like Yu-Gi-Oh and like Tokyo Mew Mew and stuff like that. They were all there. I don't know why, but anyway, it was basically this we all had guns, and we were being basically hunted down, and we were trying to get through these obstacles and get into the next area and try and like finish like this mission, right? But then like one by one, like snipers were like taking out like the other people that I was like, you know, going through these obstacles and trying not to die with. So I just watched them like one by one, like just fall around me. I was like, oh fuck, we gotta go, right? So we get through all these different obstacles, and so then we get into this one room, which there's walls all around us, so we feel safe. And that's after being in like this kind of corridor hallway sort of area where there were like no ceilings, and so it was very easy for us to get shot, and we just lost a ton of people. So we go into this this area with like walls all around us, right? It's circular, and there's a door. We look up and there's a door on the wall, but it's really, really high up, and we're like, how the hell are we gonna get to that door? Well, we noticed, we looked down, we're like, oh, the ground is rising, so whatever we were standing on was rising, so eventually we get to that door, right? But by the time we had noticed that the floor was rising, it was actually too late, and it was above the door, so we couldn't get into the door. We were trapped. Now at that point, that's where the dream basically stopped. So like once the door was blocked, it ended up turning into a cute little loft, and the dream changed, and it ended up being like, I don't know, me hanging out with them, and like I don't know how to sleep over or something. And then like I'd wake up. It was like kind of, and then the second time I had the dream, I was like, wait, I know this. We have to go through that door, you guys. But again, by the time we had realized it, it was too late. And I was like, fuck. And I woke up. The third time that I had the dream, I said, wait, I've had this dream before. Guys, we gotta wait for that door. We gotta get into it as soon as possible. And everyone's like, I got you. And then we went through the door. So then we got to actually experience the rest of this dream, right? So then the rest of the dream, which is, it's very silly. So we end up going through like this big, huge area. Like we have the high ground, but we can't see below us. And so people are getting sniped left and right. And there's only just like, there's barely any of us left. So then we end up entering into like this scary kind of like huge grocery store. Like it's a huge produce area, really. And as we're like walking through the produce area, everybody who's in the produce area all slowly turned their heads with like a dead expression and just stared at us and started walking towards us. It was really scary. And then there was one guy, I specifically remember one guy. It was one guy who had what's it called? Like you know, shears. He had like a big thing of shears, and one of his hands, he had a birth defect to where he only had like 2 or 3 fingers, but they were abnormally large. I remember that specifically. But yeah, he had shears in one hand, and one of his hands was like that. Anyway, he turned and looked and was also walking after us. And then when I look around, all my friends are gone. I have no idea where they're at. I have no idea. It's just me. It's just me. And I was like, oh fuck, where am I supposed to go? It's so unclear. I have no idea. And they all like start to like crowd around me. And then bright lights show up. And then I hear like an audience. And then this lady with a microphone comes out and she's like, you survived. And then she's like, none of your friends are actually dead. And then all the friends come out and all my favorite anime characters. And she's like, it was like, but you won. Like, it was all just this thing. Ha ha. But you won. Congratulations. And then I woke up and I've never had that fucking dream again. Nothing even slightly close. Yeah, it was all a TV program. Yeah. It was awesome the third time. It was stressful the other 2 times because I couldn't get past this part and everything was scary. Well, at least it got scary as it went along. A hat man visited you? No, he hasn't. I've never had that experience of like sleeping and having what's it called when you can't move because you're like halfway in sleep. I forget what it's called. At least you had closure. Also, congrats, you won. I won. Yeah, sleep paralysis. Thank you. Yeah, sleep paralysis. Yeah, I've never had sleep paralysis. I know a lot of friends who have had it though. Like a lot of friends. Which is kind of spooky. It's kind of spooky. But anyway. Yeah. 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 Game show dreams are weird. They are weird. I think that's the only one I've had. But yeah, I have had some weird experiences though, with feeling like there were particular kinds of people that would come down my hallway and into my room. And they weren't people that like I knew existed. I just had very specific ideas of what they looked like, even though I'd never seen them. And it caused me to like want to shut my door. There were certain rooms in this house that I grew up in that certain closets freaked me out a lot. Just made me feel really, really unsettled to be in there. And they're not even like spooky closets. I was actually less scared of the attic. The attic wasn't that scary, but like some of those closets, ugh. I literally had like a nightmare of it, like maybe like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I had a nightmare of being in that house again and having to move back to that house for some reason, which is weird. I lived with my parents in a long time, but like having to go back to that house and live in it. And I was really unhappy about it. And I just remember being like, okay, but I can't be in that room. Like, you can't let me back in that room. Like, I'm not going there. And it freaked me out so bad, man. But I haven't had any sort of those kinds of feelings in a long time. Once I moved out of that house, a lot of those went away. Yeah, crazy. Repressed trauma? No. I think it's I think that it has to do with supernatural. But perhaps we'll have to do another stream about that, about supernatural stuff. Maybe we'll talk about like certain specific things. Maybe we'll talk about certain like specific supernatural things and like debunking and stuff like that. Kind of talk about like the full range. Might be interesting. Might be interesting. Yeah. 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 But yeah. Is that haunted house the same house you fell down the stairs? Yes. And almost certain there was a ghost that lived in the basement. Honestly, I have a theory that the ghost didn't want any more friends down there. He was like, bitch, no. There's already me. It can't be you two. No. So he's like, all right, I gotta save this fucking kid. That's my theory. That's my theory. He saved my ass. He said, no. No. No more. No more. There was a lot of strange things that happened in that basement and like the stairs that led up from the basement. I always felt like I was being watched down there too. But yeah. Anyway, again, that's a whole other can of worms. That's a whole other can of worms. Yeah, rent's getting too high in the spirit world. Exactly. Exactly. Also, hi, lineage. Welcome in. Visit the Zach Baggins Haunted Museum. Dude, there's a museum, there's a library in Indiana that gives you what's it called? It gives you, or I'm sorry, it's like haunted, and sometimes you can see like beings in it, and it has 24-hour surveillance, so you can check the cameras at any time, even at night. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Basement have a washing machine or anything? Yeah, it had a washing machine and a dryer, but it had it in a separate room. That was closed off. Yeah. Is that the museum with all the cursed objects? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the Zach Baggins museum. I think it'd be fun to go to like a haunted area, but the problem is that I am much too afraid. I am much too afraid of I guess essentially opening that door again, because I feel like I experienced quite a lot of it when I was younger. And sometimes when you're talking about supernatural things, sometimes people talk about how sometimes it is like kind of like an open door and stuff like that, and if you open that, it stays open, and if you close that, then it's hard to reopen that. But sometimes if it's open, it's hard to close it. So I like living my everyday, not feeling like I'm being watched and not feeling like something is amiss. That is quite uncomfortable. So whether or not supernatural things exist, and I think that they do to a degree, I don't know to what degree, I haven't decided that yet. Yeah, I don't wanna mess with shit that doesn't want to be messed with, just in case. Just in case. Yes. What? Your elementary school took you through the Salem witch trials graveyards? That's crazy. Yeah, ghosts or not, it's an unhealthy feeling. Exactly. That's what it comes down to. It's like, if it's gonna hurt my mental health, I probably shouldn't mess with that. I don't need another thing to talk about in therapy, you know? That's quite all right, but I do like talking about it. It's very fun. It's very fun to talk about. So I don't know, maybe we'll do that next week. We do have a thread open in the Discord. It's under the iChat one. Let's see. If you go to threads, it's called Thought Experiment Thread Doko. And you guys suggested a few things here. And so I took a look at a few of these, and I'm kind of deciding on like what sort of, I guess, what's it called? Topics, I guess? What sort of themes? What sort of themes I'll kind of go with these sort of streams. So yeah, maybe we'll do like a paranormal theme or something like that. But if you guys have any other interesting thought experiments you'd like me to cover, please pop onto the Discord. It's discord.gg/4braincells, and you can pop on over to the iCorner under the thought experiments thread on iChat. And yeah, I'm just gonna pop in here and do a little bump. There we go. Just to bump it up, because sometimes it archives it until I do that. So I bumped it up a little bit, so that way if you guys are interested in posting some more ideas for you. Sorry, I don't have my bot set up just yet. But here, it should be in the, oh yeah, it's in the panels below. It's in the panels below. So if you guys are on YouTube, or if you guys are on Twitch, you guys check the panels or check the description. I think this link should work. I think this link should work. And if not, go to the description or the panels below, and you guys can get the link there. So yeah. I hate when they suddenly hide threads. Yeah, it's kind of like on a timer. I believe there's not a way to have it to where it doesn't hide them ever, unfortunately, but that's okay. I have the power to undo it, so. Mobile users hate panels. Really? I thought that the panels worked on mobile. I swear that it's worked for me before. Oh no. Oh, community Discord TBA. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, I'll add it in the description. Sorry. I have I must have copied the information from an older VOD where I did not include the community Discord link. My bad. Okay, well, it's discord.gg/4braincells. I popped it in the chat, and then I'll make sure for all our VOD watchers that I put it in I'll put it in the description. So yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. This was fun. I like being able to do these kind of like chatty streams where we just like delve into like these strange, interesting things. And it was also fun to talk about like quantum immortality, which is something that I find very fascinating. And I'm interested to learn more about the ones that you guys have been suggesting me too. Those will be very fun. I love the idea of just like talking about things and learning things, just kind of for fun, you know? Just for fun. You like my glasses? Thank you. I think it helps me feel smart. Thanks for the stream and existential horror. I got you. Thanks for the stream. I think it was a fun just chatting stream. I'm glad. Tomorrow, you guys, we have another stream. It's gonna be for our YouTube memberships. Apologies to all our wonderful our Twitch people. I do have to stream a total of like 90 days, which is kind of crazy on Twitch before I can do any sub-only streams. So unfortunately for my wonderful Twitch subscriber icicles, I don't have any content to give you for our membership only streams. But if you guys are a YouTube member for the, what is it called? Frosty Friend Plus tier, I believe, that'll get you access to our members only streams tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to be streaming a voice acting request for my members. You guys don't have to fill out a form or anything. We'll just be doing it live on stream and just having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, if you guys are going to be around for that, please stop by. Wait, I wasn't wearing a monocle. Yeah, you can't forget about the low tapered. Wait, can we play it one more time? We need the low tapered fade. No, we need it again. In case you guys missed this at the beginning, I need you guys to you guys have to see this. Also, Duper, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Thank you so much for gifting a membership to our wonderful icicles over on YouTube. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Phantom, enjoy. Can we submit some requests ahead of time? No, it's only in the moment, unfortunately, for our members. Let's see. Yeah, Giyad. I gotta show you guys this. It's if you guys weren't here earlier, you missed out on youth worship in 2024.
Instead of worshipping Giyats and Skibidi, you need to be worshipping Giyad and the spirit of He, because if you think Giyad isn't watching, you are Delulu. Now join me in worship.
What if Jesus had a low taper fade? Imagine if Jesus had a low taper fade. Okay. All right. That's quite enough. All right. So, our next stream for everyone, not just our members, is on Saturday. I'll see you guys on Saturday for Pokemon Legends Arceus. We're going through the story some more, trying to catch all the Pokemon, complete our Pokedex. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're gonna unlock our very first movement character. We get to unlock our little steed and be able to get around faster. I have some fun, exciting things that I'm planning to do with Legends Arceus that I can't tell you guys just yet, but it'll be really fun. So yeah, join us for the adventure. Join us for the adventure this week. Don't forget, I also have a wonderful Valentine's Day voice pack that you guys can purchase. Thank you guys so much for all the support on it, by the way. I seriously appreciate it so much. You guys have shown me so much support on it. And thank you guys also for the offline tips that you guys have been sending my way as well. I have been seeing them and I really appreciate them. So thank you guys so much. It really means a lot to me. I have a couple animated emotes that are being worked on now. So look forward to that. Look forward to that as well. And look forward to some cool things in the future. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna wrap up stream here, but hey, I'll see you guys soon. Let's see who I can throw you guys on over to. Let's see who is online. Now I'm just gonna be thinking of that song now. Imagine if Jesus had a low taper fit. It's so funny. It's so funny. God. All right, let's see. I got Obake Pam on. Oh, Monomane is still on. Dude, of course we're rating Monomane on fucking YouTube. Let's go. Monomone from V4 Midai. Let's go. Also, thank you so much. Thank you so much for buying stuff off of my Ko-fi, my Valentine's Day pack, my voice pack just now. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Yes. Oh my gosh, you're right. And it's Hina Bobina's birthday. Yes. Okay, cool. That's who we'll raid on. That's who we'll raid on Twitch. Then we'll go raid Hina Bobina on Twitch, and then we'll go raid Monomane on YouTube. Perfect. Awesome. Well, I'll see you guys over there. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, thank you. Bye, and as always, Aishii Ai. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye, icicles. Bye. Bye. See you guys soon. Bye.